So Spider-Man Brand New Day releases almost 5 years after the fanboy masterpiece that was Spider-Man No Way Home, but this time we return to a Spider-Man without the power of friendship and without Daddy Stark. So how does he and this film hold up? Directed by Destin Daniel Crettenthis, this film keeps what works from the previous MCU Tom Holland movies while also giving much-needed change for this new chapter. All returning actors keep their strong and compelling performances, and we see that on full display between Peter, MJ, and Ned. While there is a deeper complexity to these characters now, they're still very much the same as before, potentially even too similar. As Peter tries to reconnect with MJ and Ned, we see how damaging losing them has been to his mental, and how he tries to get back that love he once had with MJ and Ned. But ultimately, this movie doesn't really do anything different with this trio, and is clearly trying to reset their friendship back to how it was. Now, on the other hand, The Punisher is one of the new and best additions to this movie. Jon Bernthal continues to prove why he's a perfect cast for The Punisher, and we see that in the way he adapts how he plays the role for this family-friendly movie. Him and Spider-Man have a great dynamic where they're constantly bickering, but with an obvious level of respect. I was surprised to see how much The Punisher appears in this movie, as he becomes one of the main characters. The Hulk and Yelena make appearances, giving us not only a truly Sigma fight between the Hulk and Spider-Man, but also comic relief through Yelena. Yelena is also there to remind us of the level scaling in the MCU now, that being she and the new Avengers are the big players, while Spider-Man is a street hero. Now to the villain, the mysterious character the trailer hid, but everyone knew, Jean Grey. The Spider-Man movie, more like the ultimate, amazing, spectacularly annoying Jean Grey movie. Sadie Sink does a good job as Jean Grey, no issues there, but when it comes to the writing, I have some complaints. For one, her dialogues throughout the first part of the movie is super cringe. See, as Jean Grey is a telepath, she is constantly mind-controlling civilians and speaking through them. And here, I found the dialogue to almost sound like the cliché, "I'm a villain one step ahead of you, Spider-Man," and maybe in a way that's meant to represent her young, naive mindset, but I found it took me out the movie. Her mind controlling is a large part of her representation in the first half of this movie, and here she is, low-key, a diabolical villain. Like at one point, as she is mind controlling an old man, she walks him into an oncoming taxi just to fuck with Spider-Man. At another point in the movie, she walks someone of a building. Actually, she does this twice, one of those times being Mary Jane. By the end of the movie, after we and Spider-Man learn her backstory, she is forgiven for all her misconduct and set free to go on the run. And the thing is, this is not out of character for Spider-Man. He's always looking for the best in people. But for us, the viewer, I don't think she deserved to get away. She was pretty bad throughout the movie. I mean, she even mind controls and releases Rage Hulk, who causes havoc. And this is probably my biggest issue with this film, how Jean Grey is handled. After No Way Home won, and I think most people thought this movie would be more about a Spider-Man separate from the larger scale of the MCU. There's no Tony Stark, Happy Hogan, or a single Avenger that remembers Peter Parker. Even Mary Jane and Ned have forgotten who Spider-Man is. So this leaves the perfect opportunity to add Gwen Stacy, Harry Osborn, and therefore Oscorp, Green Goblin, etc. But no, the MCU needs to introduce the X-Men, so of course a Spider-Man movie is the place to do that. Instead of seeing Spider-Man collect a rogues gallery throughout this movie, we get a montage scene instead, all so that they have space to introduce Jean Grey. And of course I understand not every adaptation of Spider-Man gas to be so comic accurate, and we may never see an Oscorp or Dr. Octopus in the MCU, but if we're mind-wiping Ned and MJ, would it not be the time for Gwen and Harry? I don't know, let me know what you think. In conclusion, awful movie. I loved it, 6 out of 10, would watch again.